Hey everyone, it's Allison from Determined to Shine. If it's your first time here, welcome, welcome. If you are returning, I'm so glad you are back. Here at Determined to Shine, we are all about using creativity, spiritual connection, and community to build ourselves up amidst our hard times in our life, chase joy, and just make our lives magical. So just know that if you're having a hard day, it's going to be okay, and you're in the right place, and you are loved and seen. So today I have for you a deck walkthrough of the Chibi Anime Angel Cards, and then for our creative stretch, I'm going to show you just my favorite way to edge a deck. The markers I like to use, sneak peek, believe it or not, they're simple Crayolas. And yeah, just the way I like to edge decks and why I do that and why I think it's fun. So with that said, let's dive right in. So one of the reasons I wanted to show you this deck, it's by Dawn Brown and it's published by Findhorn Press. Nice, solid two-part box for the deck. This is actually one of my favorite decks, and it's probably my favorite angel deck for sure. And when I was trying to decide whether or not to buy it, I could only find one walkthrough online, and it was not in English. So I really wanted to make sure that people could see this deck because I think it's amazing. Because it's deceiving. It looks super cute, and it is so cute, which is part of why I love it, but it actually packs a pretty serious punch. So let's dive right in and look at the guidebook. So there are 44 cards in this deck, and there are 11 archangels, and then you can see there are 4 cards for each angel. And she has some great background information in here, how to work with the cards. Obviously some spreads to work with, as you might find in a guidebook. And then for each card, you'll have the card message. You have the symbols. So you have the planetary symbol, the element, the direction, some additional items, and then, ways to use this specific card either in a spread or on your altar or whatever. And of course, you can always use the cards however you want. But I really love the depth of these messages, and just don't be deceived because they're super cute, but they are super powerful. These are archangels, and these messages are strong. So let's, of course, have a look at the cards. This is the back. I think it's fine. I like galaxy colors and prints, so that works well for me. So this is the Haniel card. You can see then on the card, usually on the halo, there's a message that says Grace of God. Then you have the Venus symbol down here. And of course, this is her romance card. Sandalphon. I love this card, the potential card. It seems to stalk me when I'm getting ready to start creative projects, right? Who's surprised by that? No one. Then here's another one. Archangel Michael comes in for safety, and he's pretty fierce. Like, again, just don't be deceived, right? These are powerful, powerful cards. So I'm just going to show you a few. And I just love this deck. And it's interesting because for a long time I was avoiding some angel decks and things like that. And this one kind of brought me back to that part of my faith tradition, which is where I started on my spiritual path. And I've really loved getting to reconnect with that energy through these just gorgeous, gorgeous messages. Creativity, look, so beautiful. Inspiration. Haniel's cards in this deck are my favorite, I'm not gonna lie. Metatron, Divine You, Raphael, the self-esteem card. You just can't help but feel encouraged by these cards. I just think they're so pretty. I love this card. Of course, it mirrors the Strength card in the tarot. Forgiveness, Sad Kill. I always say I'm not going to show all the cards, and then I do because they're so cute. Oh, I love that one. there's just like so much to get excited about here. Past life recall. I love that one. Of course, I love doing past life work. This is my favorite card in the whole deck, is this Deep Joy card. And I've pulled it so many times. I've probably pulled it twice as much as any other card in the deck. And it just really speaks to me. There's just a couple more. So at this point, I'll just finish. You can see them all. Oh, no, I skipped one. I slipped two over there. So all but one. That's good. So those are the cards. Again, I just think it's so super cute, but so powerful. And actually, let me give you an example reading of a card in here. Let's actually just do this one that's right on top, because I want you to get a sense of what the guidebook messages are like. So this is the understanding card. Okay, so it says, Zafkiel has appeared in the cards today to send you blessings for the way you have dealt with your life journey. You have reacted to circumstances with integrity and clarity and tried to resolve all conflicts arising in a compassionate way. You have chosen to align with your higher self, your source essence in relationship to others. You have maintained your open-heartedness rather than let negative experiences cloud your belief in the essential goodness in everyone. Zafkiel has been in attendance during these experiences, observing with empathy and compassion. She reassures you that whenever you act in alignment with the ways of divinity, then you are moving towards clearing both your karmic imprint and also that of humanity. One of the purposes of incarnating on Earth is to clear a karmic accretion. You are congratulated for establishing blessed causes in your life and assured of experiencing the blessed effect of those decisions. Zafkiel reassures you that she will continue to observe your life journey. She asks that you connect with her energies of compassion, wisdom, and knowledge through meditation, and through that collaboration, your life will be more fulfilling than you have the capacity to imagine. Oh, it's so beautiful. And that speaks so clearly to me right now. And this, this card is very affirming. And really, to me, speaks in this moment in my life to what I'm doing with my work and my mission, and what Determined to Shine is all about, which is creating a safe space for everyone, regardless of spiritual path and tradition, and regardless of political affiliation or sexual orientation or sexual identity or gender identity or racial backgrounds. Like, Determined to Shine is a place for everyone to be exactly who they are on any given day, in any given moment. And when we can connect with our higher self, that can just really come through, and we can create a safe place for everyone. And when we do that, we give ourselves permission to shine, which lets other people shine, and it just creates such a beautiful world. So that's just a sneak into why I love this deck. So hope that you like it too. So we are going to move into edging this deck. I haven't had a chance to do that yet. You can see the edges are still just white, and there's nothing wrong with plain card deck edges. Like, I think people are always like, why do you always edge your decks? And there's a couple reasons. One, I think it makes it prettier, and it also, I find it to be fun and meditative. And also, it lets me really connect with the deck because I'm going to spend time with each card, right? So for this deck mod, I pulled out my trusty bag of Crayola markers and chose these 4 colors. Now, let me talk for a minute. Why Crayola? I have experimented with using all kinds of different tools to edge decks. And I also watched this awesome video by Don Michelle over at Boho Tarot. I'll link that video in the description box, that went through all the different kinds of markers that you can use to edge decks. And based on her video and my experience, I landed on Crayola. I used to use alcohol markers to edge my decks, but If you slipped with a marker, it marked the card permanently, as do Sharpie markers. And also, there was a lot of bleed, like you could see the edge color on the card itself. And the Crayolas just stay on the edge really nicely. They clean up well. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So, because I'm going to use 4 different colors, the first thing I'm going to do is divide this deck into 4 stacks, because I do want to use the colors in equal proportion. And that's not always true. Like sometimes I like to do the decks in like a different proportion of colors. Like, let me grab one to show you. This Myths and Mermaids deck that I love. Once again, you can let me know in the comments if you want to see me walk through this deck. I did with 4 colors, but I used a blue, a green, a purple, and a pink. And the pink actually is in here only half as much as the other colors, because I thought it was going to be really stand out even among that, the purple, green, and the blue, and it is. You can see, you can't. So you just kind of have to make a decision on what you want to do. And those are obviously really pastel. It's kind of hard to, let's see if I can get a better shot of the edge there. Come on, camera. This was done with the Zebra Shimmer highlighters, which are the same ones I used on the, what deck review was that? On the Cosmic Concepts Oracle, if you watched that video. So, okay, there you can see. So there's not as much pink there as there are other colors, even though it looks like it a little bit. But I am going to do this one in equal measures. So we're just going to divide this up into 4 piles. Okay, so I've got it into 4 piles, and because it's a 44 card deck, that did work out equally, which makes my little heart happy. And then I've got a marker for each pile. And all you really have to do is pick up the card and go around the edge. I know that sounds super silly and simple, but it really is. I did try this with the skinnier Crayola markers, and I don't recommend it. You really want to use a marker that has a nice tip on it. The other trick is to hold the card so the back is facing towards you. So that way, if you do get marker on it, it comes on this back instead of the front of the card. And then you're just going to run the marker right along the edge. And go all the way around. Boop, all done. Then you can check to see if there's any bleed, like if the marker is leaking onto the card at all. But with the Crayolas, I find that there isn't usually. And if there is, it usually just wipes right off like that with your finger. So it's super easy to use. And that's one of the things I really like about it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and edge the rest of this stack all with this marker. So I had it was paused because I was showing you, but I want to see, can you see I just made this line here with this marker because my finger slipped and it just wipes it right off. Now, if I had done that, you know, like I said, you can even do it on purpose because your hand slips sometimes. And if I had done that with an alcohol marker or a Sharpie, that would be permanently on there and that would be a real bummer, especially if it had been on the front of the card. So that is a fixed mistake in real time for you. Okay, so I have the first stack edged, and you can see now it's this pretty blue next to this plain white. Oh, wouldn't you rather have blue cards? Yes, but these cards are going to be this lovely purple. I'm gonna keep edging while I talk to you guys for a minute because boy howdy did I have a hard time with this stack. I think I made more hand slips doing this stack of cards than like my last 5 deck edgings combined. And when I slowed down, it's because I realized you can see I have a bit of a hand tremor right now. And so when I was edging, it's just a little bit hard for me to hold the card still. And some of you guys who've been watching my channel for a while, or who've been following me in other places, know that I have MS. And so, you know, sometimes I tremor a little. And I wanted to talk about that because I know that there's a lot of people in the spiritual community and in the crafting community who deal with a lot of stuff, right? Sorry, this is kind of challenging at the moment. We deal with a lot of issues. We have chronic illness, we have disabilities, or just, you know, life, right? I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Nobody has it easy right now. I really believe that. And I think it's just all the more reason to dial in on your spiritual practice and on the things that can bring you joy. And look at me, I was holding the card wrong. I told you guys to hold it with the back to you, and I was doing the opposite. And so I feel like it's just really important that people know that you're not alone and that there's a safe place for you out there. And that, you know, we tend to look at the world online as a community of trolls or a place where, you know, people are mean to each other right now and everybody's fighting, but it's not that way everywhere. And I have found an amazing group of people in the Determined to Shine community, in our Facebook group. I'll make sure to link that. You know, so there are safe places out there for you to be seen and encouraged. You know, I reject the idea that we can't do anything because we're not feeling well. If I only did creative or spiritual things when I wasn't feeling well, I wouldn't get to do any creative or spiritual things at all, because my body is in pain most of the time. And, well, all of the time, if I'm being accurate. And, you know, that's okay. I mean, it's not okay in theory. Like, sure, I'd love to not, but at the same time, it doesn't have to be something that keeps me from living my life in the way I want to, right? Like, I can still do a lot of things. I can't do everything that I used to be able to do. There's certainly things I can't do, like hold my hand still while I edge an oracle deck, to be sure. But, you know, there's a lot that I can do, and I think that's awesome. And I think that we can all still really strive to do amazing things despite limitations. So whatever your own limitations are, I just want to challenge you to think about the ways you can push yourself a little, or what are the things that really bring you joy, and how can you find ways to still do them? What are the ways you can bring that joy and magic forward in your own life? It looks like, did I edge this one already and set it down in the wrong place? I'm super confused right now, because that looks like it was edged already. Huh. Okay. In blue? You guys, I don't know what I did there, okay? But obviously, two of those cards were already edged, and I set them down somewhere when I was talking to you. That's fine. It's fine. Not a big deal. Go with the flow, I say. So yeah, I just wanted to talk to you guys because as I was dealing with this tremor, I felt like it was an opportunity to remind you that we don't have to be defined by our circumstances, and we may not be able to do everything 100%, but there's a lot we can still do. And I don't get to have days where I don't have physical pain. That's just not a reality in my world right now. You know, I do believe it absolutely can and will be in the future, but it's not today, and it wasn't yesterday, and we'll see when that happens for me. Whether that's, you know, a science solution or a miracle arrives, either way, I will happily take it. But I just want to encourage you to remember that most of the really hard things in this life that we go through are temporary. My hand won't be tremoring tomorrow. So, you know, there's some things I probably won't try to do today because of that. Like, I'm not going to handle any glassware right now, I can tell you that. But that's what plastic cups are for, and Crayola markers. So that's my little thoughts on tremors and ability and encouragement for you to just go for it. Like, what's holding you back? It may not be a physical thing, but it might just be a fear of something. And like, all the good stuff is scary, you guys, like all of it. So, you know, whether it's starting a business or a YouTube channel, or, you know, for me, going out in public with a cane for the first time was super duper scary. I moved to the Wisconsin all by myself, not knowing anyone after my husband died, because I felt like I needed a fresh start. That was super scary. Leaving my job to start Determined to Shine was super scary. And all those things have brought me immense joy in my life. And it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't done the thing that was scary or hard. So don't be afraid of scary or hard. Oh, honey. Because it's what makes life worth it. So, on that note, I will finish these cards up and with my shaky hands, and I will see you in a second. Okay, so I got the deck edged, and let's just say thank you, Crayola, for making markers that wiped right off those cards, because that was a lot of mistakes. And I am so in love with how this looks right now, okay? So I just, like, I am here for it. I love how when it spreads out, you don't get that white edge anymore, and it's just this, like, awesome galaxy of color. So, of course, this is how it looks when the 4 colors are next to each other. There's that pink-green split there. Or the blue-green split, excuse me. If I move it like that, you can see the 4 colors more clearly. And then when the magic really happens is when you start to shuffle them all together. And whoops, apparently I had part of the deck in there the wrong way. Because it really starts to look awesome when it's all shuffled together. And it does take me a while to shuffle cards. I'm not a good riffle shuffler because of the hand issues I've mentioned. And just because it's really hard for me. Like, I shouldn't say it's because of hand issues with MS. I've never been able to riffle shuffle well, so that's not really fair. I'm just trying to mix these up so you guys can get a better sense of what that might look like. So yeah, you can see how now it's kind of stripy and rainbowy. There's still quite a bit mixed, you know, quite a bit next to each other that will even out as I use the deck over time. But overall, I am super, super happy with the edges on this deck. They're very me colors. They're very fun. And again, I was able to do it even though my hands were all shaky. So that is how I modify decks. And why I had a really good time. Again, I love connecting with these cards more deeply as I do that process. I often like to just play meditative music when I do an edging, and like take in the card while I edge it. It's like that. Or it can also just be a fun thing to do when you're watching TV or whatever else you want to do. I do recommend you keep separate markers for edging your decks because you do like wear a groove into the tip of the marker over time. So that's just kind of how I found it. But Crayola markers, you know, they're not expensive. That's the great thing. The Copic markers I was using before were extremely expensive and not the kind of marker I want to shred the tip on. Whereas these, it's fine. I was able to get a big set of them. I keep them all in this awesome zipper pouch from Mindy Lacefield on Etsy. I'll link her shop because it's awesome. I love her big pouches for my art supplies, and I just have all the ones I could ever want in here for all my deck edging needs. And the unicorn store pouch, which is very fun and very, very me. So that is what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, if you are interested in learning more about art journaling, be sure to sign up for my 30 days of our journaling class. It's absolutely free. You can dive right in with whatever supplies you have on hand. And of course, don't forget to do all the magic things if you liked this video. So click that like button, click that little bell to be notified when I post new content, and of course subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. So have an amazing day, week, month, rest of your life. Enjoy, and until then, I hope that you remain determined to shine.